Well, hello, everyone. My name is Chris Schaefer, and I am joined with movie expert extraordinaire Bart Mills. Welcome, Bart.
Well, I'm not sure I'm an expert, and I'm going to doubt extraordinary, too, but I'll take it.
All right. So it is closer to Halloween, and of course, with that coming into play, that means movie theaters are going to be expecting some scarier movies. So we're going to really dive into one in specific today, and that is The Exorcist Believer. So tell us a little bit about The Exorcist.
Well, it's no spoiler for most people. The Exorcist itself was 50 years ago. 1973 is when that came out. And, of course, was a huge hit and has been in our media consciousness for those last 50 years. This is a reboot from the same folks who brought us the reboot of the Halloween series about 3 years ago. So David Gordon Green and Danny McBride are the authors of this one. David Gordon Green is the director on it. And so we have the story of The Exorcist. In this case, this is alleged to be sort of a direct sequel to the original. So it's a few years later, two young, just burning on teenage girls go into the woods to talk to the one girl's dead mother, which you're not supposed to do in these movies. And they come out, well, it's not a spoiler to say they come out possessed. And then their exorcism entails.
All right. So, of course, the original starred Linda Blair, and that was a big hit. Shocking scenes. Any shocking scenes with this? Anything that's going to make you spill your popcorn, jumping out of your seats?
There are a couple of little sort of jump scares early in. They do follow this new tradition that, again, we did with Halloween and Scream more recently, where they try to bring back some of the characters from the original. So we have this cinematic legend that is Ellen Burstyn, who shows up on a set for about half a day and does a little bit of work and then is kind of set off to the side thereafter. It's not in any way as shocking as the original, largely because A, the original was original, and B, we can't do this sort of thing on cinema, at least in popular cinema anymore, that we used to be able to do in the 70s.
Right, right. Now, of course, I remember during the original Exorcist, they had that classic scene that everyone remembers, that everyone think I got freaked out by and had to keep their lights on for a week at nighttime. But when the head would spin around, now are we going to revisit that one in the remake?
They play off of that a little bit. You got to play the classics. I will say that the good news is that if you look at the original Exorcist again, some of it doesn't age that well because, frankly, it's the special effects at the time just weren't up to it. Today's special effects are greatly improved. So the places where they do play with it, it works in the sense of the effects are good. I'm not sure it lends itself to the narrative any.
All right. So the effects, you do think the effects are pretty good for this movie, though?
Oh, yeah. It looks great. I mean, you got Leslie Odom Jr., who is the name lead on this, and he's really good in this. I mean, the actors are doing the work. It looks like an Exorcist movie. It's kind of gray and dark, and of course, you've got that amazing theme. But it's just the script doesn't give them much to do.
All right. Well, it really is a classic movie of good versus evil, just like the original, right?
Right. And, they're talking about doing 2 more of these coming up. So hopefully they'll take some notes from this round and get it right in the future. And meanwhile, I would argue, go back and watch the original. All
right. So what do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down, maybe thumbs sideways?
I'm really going to give it a thumbs down on this one. I do think if you're home on a Saturday evening and want to watch it on TV, great. But there's just not much to it. You don't leave the theater thinking about it much, and that's kind of my goal from a movie like this.
Right, right. I know you did give it a thumbs down, but I do have a suspicion that it might be a box office hit. So anyway, if you want to go out, see a scary movie, let's go out and see The Exorcist Believer. Well, Bart Mills, I thank you for joining us today, and you're always welcome to come back. We love your insight, and we'll be back with more on First Edition.